Hello, welcome to this week's Midweek Message. I am just going to pull it up so I can read it to you. Okay, so the very first week that I was with you, one of the best things that I remember was coming downstairs for fellowship after our first service together and hearing the sound of someone bursting into this huge, big, loud belly laugh. Other people were laughing and talking. I could hear them in the background, but the big belly laugh, that put a big smile on my face. And that kind of laughter, well, for one thing, it was a great way to start my first fellowship hour with you. But I could not help but smile because that kind of laughter is really contagious. When someone laughs like that, it's really authentic. It's like straight from the heart. And it's just about impossible not to smile yourself when you hear it. It was a great way to begin my first week with you and to get to know all of you. So, my thought for you this week, I kind of want to build on that, but it's a really simple one. What makes our community worthwhile to you? I have all kinds of reasons that this community is worthwhile to me, but I would love to know what makes the community worthwhile to you. Now, for lots of people, it's that sense of fun. It's those connections to people that we have invested a lot of time and care and a good chunk of our lives walking alongside. For others, it's that authentic and sometimes challenging and honest conversation. Like there is the possibility for real conversations in our church community where we're able to be vulnerable to one another and sometimes challenge each other's thinking and always, hopefully, seek to move together in healthy directions. For other people, the best part is seeking God together. That prayer together, the spiritual direction, the moving of our lives together, seeking to be faithful to God, following the call and life that God lays out for us to live in the life and example of Jesus. So it's all kinds of things. It's prayer and it's laughter and it's conversations. It's walking with each other. It's together creating a different world, a golden rule ethos. We get to provide a safe space where kindness and justice and compassion are lifted up as important, as opposed to other parts of our world where those things are not seen as important, or worse, you're seen as a mark for thinking that way. Because we do these things as Christ followers, those belly laughs become possible because we trust each other, because we love each other, and we spend a lot of our time together. So I've been thinking about this a lot as I call people and visit people. And if you haven't had a turn, get hold of me. If you want to a pastoral call or phone call or visit, just get in touch. I know that we are all missing each other, but we also want to keep each other safe. That's really important too. It makes me think about church and community. How are we being the church rather than just going to church? We can't go to church anymore. So, how are we being the church? We gathered pre-pandemic. That was part of our tradition. It was part of our culture, and we obviously love it. When we're able to gather again, though, it's not going to be the same. It will be wonderful to see each other again. But for the foreseeable future, we won't be able to sing together. We'll have to keep masks on inside the building, and we have to keep 2 meters distance. And those are some of the ways we keep each other safe. And some people aren't going to be there for all kinds of reasons, and we're going to miss those people. And new ones are also going to join us, and we will welcome and love them. And I know that many of you are grieving. You're grieving the loss of your community. I am too. I miss all of you, and I miss all of you together. I miss that susurrus of the conversation, the breakout of a big belly laugh, the just the level of noise in the basement after church. I miss that. I can tell you're all having a good time. The love, the laughter, the prayer together, the aspirations to do things that make a difference. How can we be the church when we can't gather as church? Not yet, anyway. So return with me to our original question. What makes our community worthwhile to you? To you. I'd love to say that I have a pat answer to those questions and to the questions of isolation and loneliness that we face, of God's call in the midst of a pandemic. I don't have any pat answers. I wish I did. But what I do have are some ground rules, the same call to live this life, to make a difference in the world around us, to seek God's call. I do know the love and the friendship of this community, of people who seek to be faithful, not perfect, but faithful together. So, how do we make this worthwhile, this time that we're in? It isn't as easy or as rewarding as it was when we could count on gathering with each other each week. So, how can we be the church right now? Okay, part of community, and this is what makes it worthwhile, is caring for each other. It is such an important place to start. And we can't pour from an empty pitcher. Who can pour from an empty pitcher? When we're empty, we need help. Are you calling each other? Are you checking in on others to be sure they're okay? To see if anybody needs something? Are you feeling sad and you need to just reach out? Do you feel like you can't call your friends because you're depressed and frustrated? Well, do it anyway, because it is normal and it is okay to have those feelings and all kinds of others. If you need help, reach out to each other. If you have help to offer, reach out. One way to be the community in action, even during COVID times, is to ask, what do I have to offer? What can I offer others right now? And also to ask, what do I need? I'd like to challenge you. They're basic questions, but asking those questions might fix more problems in our congregation and our wider community than you might think. On a basic level, it also opens our doors to the kind of authentic, belly laughing community that we have worked so hard to develop and to nurture together. We're called to live by the golden rule. We are also called to care for ourselves and to care for others. Sometimes just listening to someone else is the gift that they need. Just listening, just being present. And honestly, we all have things to offer. And we make our community worthwhile by being faithful to actively being the church here and now. And yeah, no, it's not as easy as it was. Ooh, hang on, sorry, just lost my spot. It's not as easy as it was, but we can do it. We can do it with God's love as our source and with each other as helpmates. What makes our community worthwhile to you? What do you have to offer and what do you need? Let's just start with those three questions, and with a lot of prayer and a lot of laughter and a lot of reaching out, because we are still St. Andrew's United Church of Cumberland, and we have a difference to make, and we are called by God to be faithful. And sometimes that just means listening to each other. Until next week, and in this together with you always.